Hello everyone, I'm Eugene Kenny and welcome to EUGE, an inside look at chasing a dream. Our talk show is all about young comics, up-and-coming comics that you would probably never see because they're not yet on the national stage, or some of them never plan to be on the national stage. Some comics that we talk to want to be comics, just want to be local comics, enjoy telling jokes, want to use it as a tool to help their public speaking. But that's what we do. We're also going to pop a caption later, where we take a bunch of photos and we sit around and we pop some captions onto those. They're very funny. And we're going to talk to Heather Snow. Heather Snow is a working Denver comic here in Denver, Colorado. She also, and this is her official title, the updater of the hugely popular website 5280comedy.com, which is the website that a whole lot of people that want to get into the Denver comedy market go to. We speak to a lot of comics and it's used a lot. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself and my partner Chuck Roy. How you doing, buddy?
We.
You're the other side of we.
We good.
That's a we yes?
We good. We good.
We good. So welcome back. Yeah. You've been not in studio for a little bit.
I was on the Skype.
Yeah, it was good. I actually liked the Skype. I had some people that actually called in, not called in, but hit me up on Facebook and told me how much they enjoyed the Skype.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. And let's talk to our guest. Our guest this week is, like I said, Heather Snow. The only time you want 6 feet of snow at this time of the year is when you're talking to Heather Snow. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for doing our show. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
We're going to talk about the website later on, because we talk to a lot of young comics on this show, comics that are just getting started, comics that, even pre-comics, people that, and most of them say that when they first looked to get into comedy here in Denver, Colorado, the first website they went to was yours, or when they did the Google search, the first website they found was yours, the 5280comedy.com. So
cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. So we really wanted to have you on the show. But before we talk about the website, let's talk about the comedy for a little bit. You've been in the business for how long?
Just coming up on 4 years.
And 4 years. How do you like it so far?
It's fun. It's fun for sure. It's a grind.
It is a grind, right?
It's definitely more work than I thought it was going to be when I started out, but it's
That's
fun.
the number one thing that we hear from comics is that it's easier than it looks.
Oh, for sure.
It's easier than it looks. So how did you get started? What was your
I was drunk at Paris on the Platte.
Paris on the Platte is a local Denver.
Yeah.
Okay.
It used to have an open mic. They don't do comedy there anymore.
Okay.
I'm not sure why. We should probably get that venue back. But
right.
Yeah, there was an open mic there, and I played poker with a girl that used to book the show, and I was doing something I called productive drinking, where I could only drink if I was doing an activity. So I started to go and watch comedy, and then I was like, I could do this.
Now, very productive drinking.
That's very productive drinking.
And then I got on. So it was fun. I was hooked from the moment I did it.
Yeah, from the very first time.
Yeah, and I did pretty well. I told all of my grandfather's old jokes. And then I don't remember much of it. I think there were only about 10 people left. Because
at the time you were still drinking. You were drunk.
Yeah, I was drunk. And then by the time, I think it was like 4 or 5 times on stage before I didn't totally eat shit.
Okay.
Are we allowed to say the S word?
Yeah. What was that like? I mean, we want to talk to you about what is
blank stares. I remember Elliot Woolsey was there the second night I performed, and
Who's that?
I'm sorry.
Who's that guy?
Some people are brand new, so they don't know everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's pretty new.
Well,
no, the people that watch our show. Our audience is all around the country. We have a lot.
Somewhat new, but our audience tends to be like this show is for people who have been on stage twice,
right?
7 times, and that's why the website 5280 comes up a lot.
Yeah.
We talk about, we refer that website almost every week. Or somebody will generally say it.
It's very popular.
The trick for me is
I don't think anybody knows I manage it.
Well, now our guests do.
Yeah, they do.
Just if you haven't seen this.
Have we outed you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I kind of like to keep it.
Scoot up a little bit.
I like to keep it anonymous, sort of, in a way, so that people don't.
Okay, all right, I got
make
you.
a power play of it. Associated too much with one person. I think it's a team sport, but Jason Wardell actually started it with a couple of other people. I think he started it, and then I took it over at some point. So I'm updating it now, and then a few people pinged me to make updates and help me out because it's ever changing and there's so much stuff going on.
Right.
So there are people that help out from now. It was me for about a year.
I appreciate how you keep it anonymous, but then I want to be able to find a line to have the conversation. We refer people to it a lot, I think, because it's the first resource people find.
Yeah, and there's a contact page. I get the emails from it.
Sure, yeah, but I guess the goal on this show would be to find out what's the goal of 5280 and why is it such a good resource compared to other cities don't seem to have a resource like it.
Yeah, I think other cities have tried. I think that's why it's so great to keep it anonymous. If it was just my website and I got too busy or I couldn't update it, then nobody would be informed of the scene.
Sure.
So if I can just kind of scoot it off to somebody else or have somebody else have some of the responsibilities, it's more important to do that than I think it is to promote myself through a website like that.
Yeah, so nobody's supposed to use the website as their career tool with you.
Right, no.
But it's becoming a career tool.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody's mean to me, then I'm not going to put their stuff up.
So what got you into, why'd you take it over?
I work from home on my day job, so I'm sitting in front of a computer all day, and it was just easy for me to log in and update the stuff. So I offered some help to Jason. He got hitched, or he is getting hitched. So he kind of disappeared from comedy for a little bit, and it was out of date. So I just offered. Same thing happened to me too. Somebody reached out and offered to help with the website.
And they help now to update it?
Yeah, as of Sunday.
And the goal of the website is just to really keep people informed of the latest shows.
Yeah.
The open mics,
open
the
mics,
showcases.
Who to get in touch with, how to get in touch with them. Bookings in Denver, really.
So how does one get in touch with whoever is running the
Under
page?
Each of the headers, there's a line for how to contact or how to get booked on the show.
Yeah, I submitted a show and it was simple. It took as long as almost any other web event, and then like other websites, it's blogs, so some of them take time to get approved, and it was approved within like 4 or 5 days. 4 or 5 days.
Okay. All right.
I think the goal, if you're trying to promote something, is to get the word out somewhere in that 6 to 8 week time frame.
Right.
And figure out how to build your momentum. And you can't count on a site like 5280 Comedy to be there for you at the last minute. Like, it's not their fault if you have 4 days to go.
There is a delay built into the system. There's a delay because people have
don't get paid,
real lives and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have unfriended me on Facebook or something because I didn't get their post up in time.
What makes a winning event post? Like, how do you get people to get to shows?
How do I get people to get to? I know a lot of people in the media, and I push it out to everybody because you never know where somebody's going to see it or hear about it. I think now if you post a Facebook event, I don't think anybody even sees it.
Yeah, I think
anymore.
Facebook is becoming pretty useless as far as a promotional tool.
Yeah, somebody invited me to a bridal shower.
And you didn't even notice it?
Yeah.
I
didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
So
I think if you're inviting somebody to a bridal shower, something that personal, that should not be a Facebook event.
And it's the same way with the show. I mean, if you look at any given day, on my page at least, there's 15 invites on a Friday or Saturday night.
And
And if I say I'm going to go to something, I don't remember, even if I said I was going to go to it.
Right.
So start that over again. You reach out to your entire network, but you have media people in your network.
Right. Media people, I'll submit to Westward, make sure they know what's going on.
So that's the local entertainment paper. Some of the people don't live in this town or
Oh, okay.
Like
Most
people
of the people
like people
don't
are
live in
at
this town that watch our show.
their first 20 shows when they watch
Yeah.
this, but then a lot of them have that bug to want to put together their own show.
Right.
And so I think my goal for the conversation is you getting easier and better submission forms
Right.
from shows that are fun and draw.
When I get a submission for a show, if they don't give me all the information, I don't post it. So I have a form email where I send it right back, and I'm like, can you fill it out in this format where it has like the top listing of the show format, what time it is, what ages can come, how much it costs. You don't have that information when you're submitting it to somebody like Westward or who's the local music magazine. Every city has a version of it, or the Denver Post, which is our local paper.
Right.
If you don't put all that information in it, it's not going to get listed.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to think it's a hoax. Now I have trouble if I have a show that's ongoing I have trouble getting the recurring show taken down. That's the hard part now.
Okay,
Some
because-
people show up at Beauty Bar for
and
Ladies
there's
Laughing,
not a
and
show.
It's not a show
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Used to.
right on. Oh, for at places like Westward and
Yeah, because
it's a, you know,
she also produces shows, comedy shows herself.
Sometimes, yeah, it's been a while. I'm doing I'm helping with Troy's. But
so I guess that
We're
can
going to
help.
talk about that too.
Yeah, to generate an audience for something like Your Friends Benefit. So we covered, you list it in all those available sites, and you know there might be other PR videos to watch to knock this out, but for just
Yeah.
a comic trying to get their friends to show up for something, what else do they have to do? Posters, flyers. What did you do when you found out you were going to do Brain Aid and take on the PR?
I have never printed out a flyer.
Really?
Yeah, I've never printed out a flyer.
Really?
I've never printed out
Right.
cards.
Okay.
I have cards for like that I keep on my keychain if I run into comics in other towns. But I think it's a waste of time. Although the guys from High Plains and like some of the other festivals around town, if they're plastering places that people are waiting in line at coffee shops and stuff, if they're going to put that kind of effort forward, then I do think it's worth it.
Right.
Especially if you're selling tickets. Or Terry Barton Gregg at Jake's puts up a ton of posters all over town, and people buy tickets ahead of time. I think there's a benefit in that. But when we're looking at small shows where we're trying to get 50 people there, 50 to 100 people there, it's word of mouth. I send texts.
Right.
I send
Really?
mass texts to my friends and make sure to turn off group texts so that everybody's not responding to them.
Good
And
point.
then,
Good point. Good point.
Because you really want to be respectful and not irritating. If you're sending somebody the same invite over and over again
And-
every single month, you're like, ugh, I'm going to block invites from this person
Right.
because they're driving me crazy.
Right.
Sure.
At least that's how I think.
Sure. You're right. I feel you're right. I think that
Yeah.
and that's one of the downfalls. That's one of the problems with Facebook right now. It's
Well,
lots and lots and lots of invites.
sure, but there's lots and lots and lots of shows, and there's no other, you have to make the ask.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you don't set up your Facebook page and invite people, then you haven't necessarily invited your one group of friends on Facebook. It's your sort of strategy is right. Like you have make multiple asks in formats that are convenient for you. And that work best for you, shooting
Right.
text messages and stuff. If I shot text messages to my friends, I think they'd be surprised like hell.
Yeah, and I really only ask my friends to come to the ones that are really important to me, to the shows that I know I need to bring people, or I know it's going to be a great lineup and they'll enjoy it. Because if they come to a show that's awful, it's like if I try to invite them to an open mic where like first-time comics are trying out their stuff, no
Yeah.
offense to your listeners.
No, I think it's it's
Yeah.
what they need to hear. Their first time trying comedy is going to be extremely exciting. Their 18th time, is not going to be a thrill
Right.
Right.
at all. And
It's going to be
to their friends, you have to start asking when and how. And if
Yeah.
you're going to get on the promotion side of it, you get a lot of brand new choices to make.
A lot of times when I'm doing a show, maybe my friends know I'm producing it, but for the most part, I'm under the radar. Like it's a show that I'm promoting. It's not myself. So unless my name is associated with the show, it doesn't make any sense to put it out there like that. They're not going to be searching for Heather Snow, like where's she performing. They're going to be searching for Denver Comedy or.
Do you not put yourself out as a production company?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. No.
I can ask. Go. There it is.
I don't want to do that.
Well, back to your stand-up. I know when we met, and you alluded to it, that you were drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And and now you are 3 years.
I'm a little over 2 years.
2 years sober. Yeah. Talk to that. What's that like? I mean, that you were so. If you're 2 years sober, 4 years in the business, you did 2 years drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you came back 2 years straight. The difference between the two. I mean, how did that happen? What did you have to do to get? Where did that come from?
I reached out to people. I got help.
Who'd you reach out to?
There's resources everywhere.
Right.
Really.
Right.
Some close friends.
But
I kept doing comedy. I didn't stop. It was terrifying.
Right.
When I first stopped drinking, I remember going up at the Lion's Lair. Was the first mic I did. But I knew that it was going to be welcoming because Sam and Roger run such a great
friends of
room
yours,
there.
right?
And it's for those of you that aren't from Denver, it's a dive bar that has been around Denver comedy forever. Yeah. And it starts at 10 p.m.
It's a late show.
And the bar just, it reeks.
Yeah.
It smells like last
it's,
Friday night.
It's your typical dive bar. It's a dive bar where it's where most comics start.
That's a place where once you find out about the scene and you want to try out jokes, you're going to end up at a dive bar.
Yeah, and you should.
Well, you have a professional life, or that you keep separate, or in a similar radar manner below the radar. So, what is that like for you? How do you stick with it? A lot of people show up at those open mics and go, "I'm not going to get anything out of this," and then they miss the stuff you get out of those.
I think you get a huge amount of stuff from those open mics. I do keep my professional life separate from comedy, but they know I do comedy. Okay. And the job I have now, actually, I worked for them about 7 years ago or so. So the guy who owned the company had his company bought and acquired by a larger corporation. And so when they hired me, they sought me out and they specifically wanted those skills that I had from comedy. So I do, I often run meetings. I work for Accenture, and I ran the International Women's Day here in Denver and emceed the entire event for the day.
Right.
And most of the times, people in those professional environments don't want to run a meeting.
Right.
They don't
the last thing they want to do is stand up in front of somebody.
In front of 300 professional women in Denver, they don't want to do that.
Right.
And I was like, heck yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Is there a microphone?
Yeah, I get a mic. Sweet. They gave me presents.
I bet.
It was awesome.
Good
I got
job.
a day off of work, and then I got to represent my team.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, this is incredible.
And then you got to go back into work the next day after a great show.
Well, people still recognize me at the office
That
from
is
it.
too
That
cool.
I work from home, so we
Oh,
don't
that's
see
right.
each
You don't
other.
go into. Oh, okay.
But I'll have women all over town walk up and recognize me from that day.
Right.
And I wouldn't have gotten to do it if I hadn't done stand-up, or that they didn't. I hid that. I often don't tell my clients that I do stand-up because I'm usually going to do shows in other cities. So I was in Chicago, and I probably would have done a set if I would have realized Ron Funches was performing down the street.
Right.
Before I did. I didn't get there in time to do a guest set. But I do try to ping friends in other cities when I'm there, and they usually come out because they never get to see me.
Right.
But it's a game, working your network and trying to figure out how you can get people there.
And that's it. Working your network is exactly. Is Chuck trying to hint?
Oh, was I? Was I? I wonder if I was trying to. I had shown the clock for a bit, and then I went past hinting. Sorry, we
hit the.
We just had to get to
hit the next button on the EUGE down there. Hit click to
money.
There we go. And hello, this is the R East Tavern Two Sliders Thursday special. That right there, what you're looking at, is $4. Crazy price. I mean, that's 2 sliders, plate load of fries, pickles. I mean, it's amazing. You've had it. I've had it. It's great. And every Thursday, and you can stop in at Ari's Tavern at 5886 Pecos Street, Denver, Colorado. And you can have that right there for $4. It's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
That's amazing, right?
You did a great job.
Thank you. Where's it at? Ari's Tavern.
Ari's Tavern, 56
You have
in
a show
Pecos.
there, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, we do the Friday night showcase there, and we appreciate that the fact that they let us do the show there. Thank you a lot, Iris. So we really we've had a good relationship with them. We enjoy. And we're back. Okay, so
We did a commercial. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Oh.
Even on time. I
We
feel
do.
really proud of
Good
us.
job.
we
Thank
have we have a clip of your set from Stilettos. You sent me the Hulu, but Hulu won't download.
Oh.
And, yeah, you have to embed it into a page, and there's no
bummer.
way for me to download it and edit it. So
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. So
I actually
but
haven't even watched that set, so.
the Hulu, the one, it was really good. You enjoy. You were funny. I watched it. So I was,
It was a long week.
yeah,
We have the audio?
yeah. The audio has to be low because the micro feedback.
Okay.
There's not enough audio
So,
on
all
that.
right.
But the audience at home can hear it perfectly if you look at the recorder.
Ladies laughing. Although this Ohio native has appeared on several stages, tonight she's making her stand-up television debut. Just because there's snow on the stage doesn't mean there's not fire in the furnace. Please welcome Heather Snow.
You have to figure out a way to fix this. So is this a studio audience?
Hey.
Wow, look at you.
You know where people keep swimming around with that killer whale? Dying.
That's 6 feet of snow right there, huh?
You just swim around with killer whales and you get killed. Does that shouldn't be called
I wish we
Looking
could hear
like a
the
young
jokes in
Jennifer
studio.
Coolidge.
Yeah.
To me, a freak accident, something more like if you're taking a shower and you get hit by a train.
My friend was in a booth over to the left.
You're killing.
She got on television?
You told me you were going to Cabo for like this festival, nothing going on. And then
This
you
was years
recorded
ago.
this? Oh, okay.
No,
But
the
I also
Hulu,
recorded
the Hulu
something
set
else.
was in
All
Cabo.
right, so, okay.
Yeah, this was the
I've done
Stilettos.
I've done some
All
stuff.
right, but yeah, like you just went to this festival in Mexico.
I'm somebody,
Was
right?
it
I'm
Cabo or?
Uh-huh.
And you were just like, oh, it's just friends. We're
Yeah.
doing a show. And then
Is that what I
And then
said?
I think
and
so.
then it-
Yeah,
and then it ended up on Hulu.
yeah. I'm never gonna. I'm always gonna believe you're lowballing it for that long.
I don't want to come off
Where's
like
she
a
up to?
braggart.
God,
I didn't really
You-
know what was
you-
happening.
I
I
don't know what
kind
that
of knew that something was being taped, but I didn't.
that would make you the one and only comic that doesn't want to come off as a braggart. Wow.
Our home audience has got to be annoyed with the fact that we're not
We're talking
watching.
over it?
Yeah, we can't.
Because we can't hear it in studio.
So we should shut up.
If you see a meth head, let him know you're coming on. Wave your arms. Avoid making meth head sounds or hyper squeals. Back away slowly to have an emotion. Don't run. You can't
We're gonna do this every time your cleavage is near me.
I'm wearing the same color.
Really?
That's
made me think.
How do you mean? Oh, so you're matching your wardrobe all the way to your on-air clips for interviews? You're like,
No, not on purpose.
That's well thought out. That's really advanced.
Did you happen to eat them? I know you're drinking tonight. Don't drink and drive. It's expensive.
That is a saying.
Personally, I think lime sharing the roast all
I,
day long with
my friend convinced me to wear that color, and I started buying only clothes in that color.
Boyfriend? Oh,
No.
That looks like all right, cool. I think we. I apologize to anybody if I stopped it. I think we stopped on a good laugh, and
It's
at
out
the end,
there.
I can't hear it. So
yeah. So we'll have to fix that next week because we're still
we
working
got
on
a
trying to do
good
it with
conversation about your wardrobe choices, but normally there we pick up a little bit of what your stand-up would be and we get into that conversation about the arts of it.
Matthew. What's your process
For that show, it was
in general and for that show?
in general. I like to go to open mic and just fire a bunch of stuff out and see what gets a giggle, and then take it from there and write it.
So,
But
you,
I write after open mic.
so you start on stage. You like to go.
Yeah, I like to see what if comics giggle at the Lions Lair a little bit, then it's
gonna kill.
Yeah.
If you can get a giggle out of a comic.
But I did a joke. One of my favorite jokes I did for the first time on that show, which is a big no-no.
Really? Which
You're
one
not
is it? I don't know if you
supposed
just did it.
What do
You
you
know,
think,
you're
Chuck?
not supposed to comedy. I think that can't ever work.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you put down a rule in comedy, you put down the challenge to break the rule, and
Yeah, I broke it.
you
Yeah.
know who's directing. Is it Jim Burrows? Then
Yeah.
probably do what they say.
I would
But
think
if
you-
it's you know, yeah, I'm an artist choice kind of. I mean, because it's comedy, and if you want to be
Yeah.
a rock star, if you never want to work with them again, or
Totally.
take a chance if the joke kills, it's so present and in the moment.
Yeah.
Most times, though, if
Why
you're doing a
not?
television show, and this was a television show, you know, it's pretty scripted. They want to see what, I don't know how
Yeah.
this one worked it, but they want to see worked it. Did I just say worked it?
Worked it.
I
I
don't
worked
know.
it the script.
I'm not sure how this one worked.
How does
but
that
I'm sure
work,
they,
did
I'm sure they
Eugene?
wanted
When you
to.
scripted it. You worked it as scripted.
I am so sorry. But yeah, didn't they want to see what you were going to do?
Yeah.
When we scripted that, it worked. It did.
It worked.
It worked it did well.
All right. It's-
Yeah, I had to send multiple revisions over and have it. It was written out, and I worked along with people that had been
Right.
on.
Say
on
that
shows.
all again.
So that's
Could
why
you
you're saying it was
please
a big-
say that all again. You had to what
I
when
had
you did
to
the TV thing?
submit a script.
You had to those fucking heathens.
Yeah.
They stole your
submit.
artistic opportunity. But that looked great. It was such good footage, and it came. You killed it.
No, I wouldn't say I killed it. The people
Are
were
they dubbing
sitting,
in laughs? Or,
That's a good- that's a
They
good
were
set.
jumping in laughs. They had
You know what? Oh, I'm sorry.
You
They
know
had
how it
people-
went. I've
mics on the
seen people
table.
eat shit at, you know, same hall I was on in Last Comic Standing, and then you watched their set and it killed. So
It killed.
was that a moment of, you did well on that set without understating it, please. You know?
Yeah, I did well.
Okay. So to get
What you don't see
all right.
is I was terrified. I was 3 months sober when I did that show.
Wow.
So,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I was, and a friend of mine who produced the show, the booker, contacted me, which is how I found out about the show. I didn't submit for it. They contacted me,
Okay.
and went on and worked it. Like I was at every mic I could be on for the weeks coming up to that. I didn't really tell people what was going on.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Hey,
You and you
know,
in
for,
the green- yeah.
we couldn't see it, but as far as I'm concerned, the pacing was cutaways right at the right time, audience reaction shots right at the right time. I'm an audience warm up. I'm a
Right.
geek about that shit, you know. So
Yeah.
that is a nice piece of tape. I mean, it just survived a whole viewing
like it.
session where we had a technical fail. We couldn't even hear you, and
Right.
it's
Yeah.
as far as what we're doing in an instruction manner to other people, like one, you were nervous and you did well.
Yeah, and actually that was I worked a lot with Phil Palisol, who's the local guy.
Local headliner.
And Nora Lynch, and we went through my my script a number of times, rewrote it. They came and watched me. They came and watched my sets at Comedy Works New Talent Night. Wendy gave me some extra stage time. The Improv gave me lots of stage time. You know, I let the club owners know what was happening, and that I needed as much time as I could get.
Right.
And
Which club got you more stage time for your?
both. Clubs, yeah. I had to work it. I had to be really nice. But and then Wits End, which closed. I did a weekend of shows there, and then submitted the tapes. But Phil told me that, you know, they're trying to, on that particular show, they were really trying to make us look good. It wasn't dramatic, so they told us that if we stumbled over a line, to just re-say it.
Just do it again.
Smart.
Edit it right.
Okay.
So I went out and I messed up all of my first 3 jokes. I was so nervous, I was shaking. And I just asked, can I start over? And I walked back to the back of the stage, came
Right.
out and
Wow.
used the mic again. Did it completely over.
How'd that go?
It was great.
Well,
But-
it's a studio crowd, right? So you're not at a club. You're in a studio.
Yeah, they laughed
It's a
in all
fake
these
club.
weird places. And they had been there. They were being paid $17 a show to sit there and laugh. and they would just stand up at all the people in the audience and move them around.
That is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
So-
Brody was there, like,
How many
Say that all again.
How many
for
shows
people.
did they shoot?
It was a paid audience.
it was a paid audience. The people had been sitting there all day.
Uh-huh.
And they made $17 a session, and they stood up and just like
Rotated
rotated them
yeah.
to different tables. So they were done. They
Yeah,
like they
right.
did not, but they were paid to be there, so they're like
Right, exactly. Uh-huh.
laughing. But when I did that, when I was terrified and I got off and came back in, then they were I think the audience was genuinely supportive at that point.
Because they were back on.
Because they wanted me
Now
to
they're
see.
vested.
Yeah.
They were bored as shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
now something comes around. That's
Totally.
who my audience would be as a warm up. They would get delivered to me after watching a day of the Man Show tape, and so then they had one more to do, the Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn, and it would be difficult. Some were easy to wake up and get going because I was just fresh and they knew me. Others would be like, this fucking guy again.
Yeah.
And we ain't giving him nothing. And so eventually, when I had Pola, I eventually got certain groups removed and that sort of cleaned up because I'm like, this is killing
Right.
Craig. You know,
Yeah.
they're not easy to make laugh.
It was it was tough.
You took a big chance there. And I can just guess by TV audience crowds, they were like, they're going to be like, now I'm into it. This
Yeah.
poor fucking girl.
Yeah.
She's
I can also
scared.
tell
I
that's
was terrified.
I can
And-
tell that's a year ago because I just saw you a couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and God, your delivery is just so smooth. I was so impressed with what you're doing now.
thanks.
It's just pretty. It's just
Yeah, I
amazing.
changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, you have.
So
Yeah,
I want to get back to the start of this. I brought up a big thing, the writing out of your set. What did you have to turn into them?
I had several revisions. I had my entire set written out word for
A
word
revision of what?
of my set. They switched orders around. They
Okay.
didn't want one of my closers. They didn't like.
Okay, I'm even going to break it down even further. Was it a piece of paper, an email you sent them, a file from your phone?
It was an email.
Okay.
So I emailed it to them, and then they tore it up.
Can you walk me through what, like, just to dream big, like when did you first start, what were you first writing your jokes in?
Notebook.
There
What
you go.
kind
Yeah,
of notebook?
a
I mean,
notebook.
just a random one you got or a special one?
Yeah, it was one at Target I got, and I started just hammering through crap.
So it
Awful.
sounds
It
Awful
goes through,
jokes.
like, goes through, did you hide that or was it in a place right next to all your other work?
Yeah, I worked from home, so it wasn't a big deal. For a long time I had an open Word document behind whatever I was working on at work. And I
Yeah.
would listen to podcasts and try to like trigger my mind to think of new material, think of new premises or things that I thought might be funny, and then just write them down on that Word document in the background.
That's what, okay. And so easy for you to go from that to submitting a script. And have you ever tried writing jokes on your phone?
Yeah, I find I don't like to have to pull up my phone when I'm on stage. It gets weird. I feel like it
What's
alienates
weird about it?
people.
I cut off your answer to it.
I think it alienates people. When I'm looking at somebody on stage and they look at their phone, I just think about people that I have dinner with that look at their phone. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's like there's something between me and you, and
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. People have dinner, like the people who do that through dinner.
I get it. I mean, I get that we should be technically savvy or whatever. But also, I think like as far as the notebook's concerned and people pulling up notes on stage, I will keep I'll have a piece of paper in my pocket with all
Yeah,
my set
sure,
on it
sure.
for an emergency.
An
An absolute freeze. And
yeah.
I've never
And
used it.
exactly, I was going to ask you that. How many times have you ever pulled that out?
Never
Never.
once.
Once you write it down and you put it in your pocket and you know that you have it and you know that it's for an emergency, you know that's set. You never have to pull that out of your pocket.
Right.
But if you're just winging it, you know, I like that. I like that. Once you write it down, you know it. We had this conversation a few weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely. Did the first time you wrote jokes and wanted to be a comedian, and then all the way up to the set we just watched.
Sounds like your
Do you
first
think
set
you
was
knocked
spur
it-
of the moment.
Do you think you
Was it?
Are you living up your dream?
I don't know.
So,
I didn't ever dream to be a stand-up.
okay.
So, I have my dream. My day job is my dream job, and I
Okay.
think all this other stuff is just bonus. It's so fun.
How would you tag what? I'm sorry. Chuck has tagged the phrase. What is it? Comic.
Hobby comic.
Hobby comic.
Hobby comic.
Do
I
you?
kinda hate that term.
That's a lot of people do. I was wondering.
What do you hate
what-
about
what-
this hobby comic?
Because I have an agent. Like I'm represented. Like I take off days from work for sure, and I go and do other things. But
So you're
it's
no
not a
hobby comic. You're no hobby comic.
Like I care.
Couldn't people foreseeably do this as a hobby and
Yeah,
care?
and people do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's
But
like
if you're-
knitting,
if you're
I try to
dream
give
job-
those people their space.
If your
I
dream
like-
job is your day job, comedy's your hobby. Is that true?
No,
Sure.
I kind of feel like I have two jobs.
Okay.
A hobby's a hobby. Comedy's comedy. And if somebody wants to do comedy as a hobby, I think that's just my point.
Okay.
Somebody could do comedy as a hobby. And
Yeah.
on the other side, comedy is elitist, and the scene can get snobby, and hobby comics can get pushed around. And so that's what my effort is, to just make it feel safe here for people to,
Yeah.
tell jokes at their local coffee shop if that's how they, in their retirement go, goodbye, honey.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
going out the door, and I'm going to go tell jokes at
Yeah.
they don't have to go to the Lions Lair
At
to
Ari's
make
Tavern
it.
on
They
Friday
can
Night
go to
Showcase.
Ari's if that's.
And I
if
think
that
that's
fits
a
in their world.
misconception too. In my opinion, if you're doing comedy so that you can become famous, like, I don't know,
You missed the point, didn't you?
Yeah, you're missing the point.
Yeah, you did. I always tell, you're exactly right. I like the way you said that. I always tell comics, man, if you're not enjoying the ride, then get off the boat, because the ride is what it's all about. It's not about your destination in this business. You never know. 90% of this business is, I don't know you. I've been in this business 27 years. I've enjoyed every single second of it, but who knows me? You know what I mean? I mean, it's I've enjoyed it. I love it to death. It's not. Anyway, that was what I was saying.
I loved it. And when I went to Cabo,
Did I just say nothing for about 2 minutes? Go ahead.
Something. I was clicking on the wrong stuff.
Because I was looking right at you.
I was trying to
what's going on
drive
up
the
there?
show, and I was in a very.
Go ahead. You were saying, Heather, go
so
ahead.
I went to Cabo Comedy Festival, and
Uh-huh.
there were a lot of big names down there. It was pretty fun. I don't know if you guys saw any, like, the Twitter feeds or anything that was going on. But, people from all over the country, people that are national headliners,
Right?
were all there. At one point, I was, like, sitting by the pool with Kevin Pollak.
Nice.
That was sweet.
That's got to be
You know,
fun.
but
It's got to be fun.
I was just talking about that this morning, too. But we
Did he
had,
do an
like, a
impression for you?
genuine...
'Cause he's great.
Yeah, it was so cool. He was such a nice guy.
He's a great guy.
And I was in the new talent competition on the island. So they basically covered all the costs for our hotel rooms and food. And then the winner of that set got to be on Arsenio. So
Really?
they had,
Okay.
they had 16 comics,
Uh-huh.
or maybe it was 20. But then the final was 8 people. So I made it past round 1. I crushed that first night, and nobody knew who I was.
Right.
But then the rest of the week, they were all like, "I heard you're really funny." And I mean, like that's pretty cool to come from like
fantastic,
being
right?
unknown to
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
on stage and crushing. He introduced me from the wrong town. Bobby Slayton was the MC.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
The Pitbull of comedy.
Yeah. He's like, "She's from Harrisburg." I'm
You
like,
know
"I'm
not
from
to correct
Harrisburg."
that, right?
Yeah.
He'll do 20 minutes on that.
And I'm from Harrisburg. I love
Harrisburg. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Bobby.
it. So, do we have time to take? We have to say hello to the kids, and then we'll play Pop Caption and talk about your upcoming shows.
All right, cool. So, hello.
We got one to do.
Do I? Ari's Tavern?
Sure.
Hello, Ari's Tavern. How you doing? This is our commercial for Ari's Tavern. We do our Friday night showcase at Ari's Tavern every other Friday night. It's in Denver, Colorado at 5686 Pecos Street in Denver, Colorado. That right there is the Thursday special. They have amazing specials. They have the sliders there. They also have the best green chili in town. They also have an Ari's burger, which is like 3 of those put together on one bun. It's ridiculously good. So anyway, we like doing the shows there. We really, really appreciate Ari's. Come on down and support Ari's Tavern because they support local Denver comedy. Thank you very much.
Nice job, Euge. That was
Sweet, thank you.
That was a technical challenge. I think we did it well.
A couple times. Yeah, right on. So anyway, we could dump the music now.
Oh.
If you'd like.
No,
Cool.
we haven't named the band yet.
Oh, we have not named the band. Let's put the band back on there. Heather?
Shecky Becky and the Recky Tex.
I like Shecky Becky and the Recky Tex. Do you have it?
We'd like to name
When
them
was
a
this
different
written?
thing.
Sminky and the Next-Tones?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we name them a different thing every week.
Every week we have a different band.
And
They're the
maybe-
outhouse
Yeah.
band. And
We can't afford an in-house band, so we have an outhouse band.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Did you find them in the neighborhood?
We did not. That's funny. We did not.
they're in the alley.
Tennessee.
Oh my God! All right,
I
cool.
found them in an alley to be
Did you?
surprised.
And-
You
yeah.
know, that's
God.
Doing it on the 16th Street Mall.
I've never done it on this.
Yeah.
You're from Colorado, though.
No.
Are you? Where are you from? Where did you?
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
And ain't nobody telling me different.
Whatever Bobby says, I'm on
In the future,
scares the shit
you know,
out
like in the future, stand your ground. But you know,
Yeah.
board. I did stand my ground actually
Yeah.
After a while, or on stage?
on stage. I corrected him.
Did you?
Yeah, I did it.
Where'd you tell him you're from?
Where did I tell him I was
Did
from?
you on stage? Are you from Denver? Okay. all
I
right,
said
cool.
on stage I was from Denver.
There you go. Now, where are you really from?
I said, "Were weeds legal?" And then I stuck my arms out and I was like, "We're weeds legal!" And the crowd cheered and they were on my side immediately.
nice.
So, where are you really from?
Sandusky, Ohio.
Sandusky, Ohio, which is close to what?
Cleveland.
Okay.
It's right in between Cleveland and Toledo on the lake.
Were you just in Cleveland?
Cleveland, yeah, I was just
They
in
had
Cleveland.
the gay games, and you did it at
Played the
Hilarities.
gay
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
Nice. How was that?
It's fun. They have new ones they should play.
Knew what?
Gay games. You know, like
Did you
let's
teach some-
stay in a
Did
relationship.
you teach some new gay games?
That's-
Oh,
That's a hard one.
It's Danny and Terry, 35 years.
oh my God!
That's impossible. Sorry, I'm here.
That's the thing I don't envy. You know, a gay relationship, man. Is like, you know what, dude? Trying to keep a guy from cheating for 20 years. Oh my God! trying to get two guys from cheating. Right? Exactly.
You're getting this shot back. Now you got to strop your nose shot. That's what you get. That's what you get.
Is that? Well, hold on.
Drop the nose.
They're like the 70s. Hold on.
Oh, joke! Who saw that coming? Where did?
That's how big
What
my straw was too in the
happened
70s
there?
too.
And that's why Eugene's an 80s.
It took over my life right there.
80s comic.
Oh, my
90s
God.
comic.
Well, put that
and the
back
little
here.
shy child.
There you go. So that way, thank you.
Poor Heather.
I'm so glad I stopped there.
Heather,
At this-
cocaine is something that was done in comedy in
Yeah,
the 80s.
way back when. You probably
stopped in the
never heard
90s.
I wasn't barely
I
born.
told them stop, and they did. So you don't know
Yeah.
anything about this stuff. You're an innocent and a sweet peach.
I am a sweet peach.
With a professional life who probably sometimes has to share the green room with some cocaine. I bet you that's a challenge.
Yeah. So I
Now
won't tell you.
like that looks messy.
I won't tell you who it was, but literally one night I'm working, a show, and I'm the MC. The headliner's in the green room, and I come off stage and introduce the first guy. Come off stage, and I'm walking to the green room, and literally had to duck a Coke spoon. And the guy's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Dude, no, thank you very much."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I mean, that's true. I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah,
No.
they're like, for real?
No, thank you. Yeah, exactly. And he looked at me like, "What? This is like air. You don't breathe. You don't. You don't drink water."
Yeah.
Free air.
No,
Yeah,
comedian.
Yeah.
You got some booze?
Vodka.
How about beer? That's right.
Something, yeah, exactly.
I'm a Colorado comedian, so we'll be doing weed,
God
bro.
almighty. So we always try to find out, from comics that are in the game now, if they had something to say to our audience. Our audience is, like I said, is young, up-and-coming comics or young wannabe comics or people who would like to get on stage at some point. What have you found helpful in your 4 years? What have you found not helpful?
Probably being nice to everybody is always helpful. You never know.
Fuck that.
That sure hadn't helped Chuck's career.
Chuck's not. I failed also.
Burn a bridge, get a movie.
I too failed.
That's what I say.
That's what I'm saying.
I too failed. Yeah, you just never know where somebody's going to end up and what kind of power they'll have over you. So just lay low, stay out of the drama.
Right?
I'd avoid the drama and be
Yeah.
nice to everybody, or just recognize it's a small world.
It's a very,
And
very
if your
small world.
paychecks
Very
are low,
small.
people
Yeah.
quit shit. Okay.
And
So
and also remember that waitress might be booking the show when you come back. You might be
Totally.
booking
you
the
might
club.
grow up, own the comedy club, and then have paychecks that pay shit. Okay.
That's Chuck's own personal fight.
I'm gonna make you nervous with that every
Do you?
time, aren't I? We
Oh
don't
my
have to get
God,
into dogging
really?
somebody, but
Oh, not what.
Okay, I didn't know everybody had a fight over there.
Well, I don't know. I think if you're a girl and somebody's hitting on you nonstop, just lay low. Like, don't do anything.
Yeah, that's.
It's a different world for
Speak
female
up on that
comics.
stuff.
Yeah, what is that?
Speak
I
up
try.
on that stuff. I know there's nowhere to go, and
Speak
it's-
to-
you're on your own.
Yeah.
You're on your own. But you speak up, make a louder
Yeah.
voice. It's the responsibility of headliner comedians, males. It's the responsibility of people who are movie stars, whose poster are in the front of those clubs, to make
Yeah.
sure those clubs operate
Exactly.
reputably. So if tweet.
How do you handle it? What do you do?
Hashtag.
I mean, you 6 foot and blind. It's got to draw.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's got.
I had probably the worst occurrence I've had. A guy after the show, like, did I tell you about this? Like, a bar owner kissed me, like, came at me and grabbed the back of my head and kissed my face. And
like kissed you.
yeah, like tried to kiss me.
Okay,
but
okay.
he basically licked my entire face. So yeah, it was horrible. And Jen Scully was there, and she saw Jen. Well, she's another female comic. She saw like the look of panic and shock on my face as the person left, because he got kicked out. And he got kicked out of the place he owned.
Wow.
So, but yeah, you just never know where these guys are going to come up. And now, like, I've ended up on a few shows in a new establishment that he owns, and I'm just like, it's incredibly uncomfortable. But I find that if I just tell a couple of guys, like the guy comics, what's going on, then they usually keep an eye out for me.
Yeah.
But
Does that keep you off the road at all?
yeah, for sure.
that a
I don't
consideration?
have any desire
Okay.
to do the weekends abroad or like any of I do the weekends
Weekends abroad, right? Unless they're Cabo. Unless they're really abroad.
Cabo's- yeah, Cabo's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I travel for work too, so I'm very aware of what it's like for a 6 foot tall blonde woman to be traveling in South
Gotcha.
Texas or wherever. I stick
Right.
out like a sore thumb.
Uh-huh.
And if you're just like, don't flirt, do not flirt unless you actually mean it.
So do you? I mean, go
it's a
ahead.
professional industry.
It's
Like
right.
there's an art form to this, and the art form happens in places in all sorts of places. It occurs most often in professional venues with professional rules. They have a food inspector come in, and if it ain't
Right.
clean, they get like there's other things outside of telling jokes that happen in the business. And there's a
Yeah.
shit ton of liquor, and sexual harassment happens. And what comedy's going to have to get used to is the professional world isn't going to stop being any less professional. It won't get tolerated in the future.
Right.
And that's why I say make noise. That
Yeah.
80s mentality of ownership, afraid of reporting stuff. Well, they don't own the comedy clubs anymore. businesses that have insurance and lawyers and terror or that are afraid of a lawsuit like that
Yeah.
own the venues now. So the more we speak up, the faster that stuff will hopefully, stop.
It's interesting though. Like the guy, it just that would never happen to a dude comic, or might.
No, it happens to guys. I would have cougar type women put their, put their vagina on me and like on my knee, beyond suggestively up my knee, and in a manner of, oh, you like this and you like me, and
so what do you do?
I back off, and generally, at one said venue, people were known to the staff was known to say, hands off the talent. I never like to be called talent. Don't ever call me talent. But if someone's drunk and needs to be told hands off the talent, that's the phrase to use. But
I personally think that I used to. Well, I think that people like to hug me when leaving.
It's
the
a
show.
hugging game. Everybody hugs
people
now.
like to hug a lot. But the thing that caught me off guard is like I'm so used to hugging fans, customers leaving that want to come hug, take a picture, whatnot. But a lot of comics, the last thing they want is for you to put your hands on them.
yeah, we're introverts.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of times,
It's the scariest thing I do is go out and greet the crowd.
Yeah.
But that's tough luck.
Yeah.
I mean, go out there, shake their hand. It's their night
part of
out.
the game,
Thank
right?
them for their business, or thank them for at least their presence, their giving of a laugh to your art.
Right.
Like look them in the eye and say thank
Yeah.
you. It's genuine. They want that, need that, ask for that. It's great artists all do it. Watch someone's great show,
Right.
and they incorporate all the thank yous and.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And
So
for
are
the
we
most part, everybody
gonna
looks
pop a
out.
caption?
Yeah, we can. Sorry, Heather. We can wrap up on. You had something to.
I think for the most part, everybody just supports each other, and most of the scenarios aren't that bad. It's usually people just trying to enjoy
Yeah,
the show. That's the majority.
It goes back to you're a professional who you have a passion, and you end up. I see you. I don't go to the Lions Lair. I don't hit open mics, but I know you're at them, and I know you're a reference point to getting the next right people who are lost. You open yourself up and help people around that way, and there are some people who act like you don't exist. They look at those Lions Lair places and go, "There's nothing for me to learn there," and you go, "Well, watch
missing.
Heather Snow.
Yeah.
She got herself on TV, and
By doing
you
the
went
lair.
to the places that
Right.
were available to you, the stage time that you had, and took full
Yeah.
advantage of the opportunity."
Yes, you did.
So good job. We're gonna have to get to your funny jokes. This is a game we play called Pop a Caption. So I got no better segue than that. I stepped on yours.
That's all right, man. It's just like it sounds. We throw out the picture, we pop some captions at it, try to be funny. If it comes into your head, like this black guy is obviously going, "Where are all the white women at?"
Yeah.
That's obviously what he's thinking.
Sam Adams for president.
Wow. Terrific.
God,
Folks, you'll have to
if you knew
give Sam Adams a quick
you have
Google
to
on that
Google
one.
Sam Adams.
Nice job.
I think
And,
next to Sam Adams in Google it says not Eugene Caney.
I want to
I think it does.
make a Pretoria joke right now. Listen here, Blade Runner. You killed her. By the way, this is what happens when you Google ignore Eugene.
Yeah, what's going on?
I was ignoring him. I have a new cell phone or smartphone, and I ignored my
Let
friend.
me put my glasses on. God, is that really a black guy over there?
Does she really expect us to eat all the garland?
Have you
too?
heard?
The gay couple at Thanksgiving.
Oh my God. If you don't tell your mother this year,
Oh my God.
we're never coming back.
Whose hand is that on my knee?
But they came with the other girls. Is that Timmy? That doesn't
Uncle
look like Timmy.
Tommy's always trying to get a photo of my breasts.
Wow.
All right, there's no breasts in the front.
There's no
There's
breast
no
there.
breasts.
That's okay. We can,
Do you take photos at family meals?
Not from this angle. I know.
Every Roy meal. No, I've never seen this angle. I don't.
No.
Is this GoPro footage of somebody's dinner?
This is a drone.
It's a drone strike.
This is seconds before the drone
Fuck
hit.
your Christmas. Boom.
I like how they just put the salad down the center of the table.
Yeah, that's
Pick
the
it as you
joke.
go.
That's what I was going for.
God.
Is there's just
Oh,
a
my.
lot of greens going down.
That's a lot of greens happening.
Oh, wait. I'm doing this wrong. Maybe did I
That's
press
it. You're right.
stop?
Next
All
one. There you go. What
Where the
hell-
fuck is the food and all the greens? Right? This
It's
other.
her shoes. It's her shoes or the greens.
There are the greens.
This table has enough food to set that table.
What are they? Are they sitting? They look like lifeguards or
on-
security.
A catwalk.
They are
Gotcha.
they're cheering on people as they go for their first walk.
Uh-huh. 2 more steps. Seriously, it is a shower. You'll be fine. Keep going.
Oh man.
There's a
So
shower.
I was about to make a Bonnaroo joke, and now we're
No.
gonna make a Jubaroo.
Now we go.
This way for the Jubaroo. This way. Okay. You will not take me to Jubaroo.
Hail Hitler.
God.
It is awesome.
Hey, has anybody seen Chuck Roy?
Wow. Who knows if Filthy Animals comes out tomorrow? Okay. How to not run your police state.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know why everybody covers their face with those bandanas. Like,
Swipe left.
Just,
oh God, I almost choked myself
sorry,
to death.
fella, but
Hi, friend.
No, I don't know.
not hooking up with you.
Swipe left.
Oh, you know how this?
Oh,
I
God, I just
Googled
had my hand on the
lesbian
mic,
couple,
sorry.
and this guy
This guy
comes
came
up.
up.
Oh my God. Ooh,
Linda is on Tinder.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's tender all the way,
Nice
buddies.
job. Nice job. Okay.
Yes.
As previously mentioned, your paychecks are shit.
Like I said, I don't want to go out. Leave me alone.
For real. No, I won't sleep with you.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, but I won't sleep with you. Are you sure you're not gay? Oh,
God.
Oh no.
no.
Sweater vest.
Swipe
So,
left.
I can't even look without saying swipe left now in my head.
She just swiped left.
Oh, is that a swipe right? Is what is
Here's
that?
Heather in Cabo.
Is that Heather in Cabo?
Photo
look
shoot.
like
She
me.
doesn't remember. It looks.
What?
It looks just above here. It looks like she shit a mountain.
That's not really you, right?
That's actually
There
my
we go.
yoga pants. It does look like me.
Is it you? That's not
Yeah,
really
it's Heather Snow. She shoots commercials. I found one.
Oh, my God.
No, I made it up. I got you good. You got me earlier. Now I got you back.
oh my
I
God.
did. I was on Gym Rescue. I forgot about that. It aired yesterday.
Oh, good
Were
for
you really?
Yeah.
6 feet of snow on Twitter.
Nice.
There's no way you can use a laptop in that heat. Would
Oh,
just
it
be-
burned right up. Yeah,
it burned
yeah,
You
right up.
burn
mean?
That's
you
what
mean
I'm
like?
thinking about.
Yeah.
Do you mean she's
But it
hot?
does look like me.
Do you mean she's hot for somebody?
You know what?
And you can't use a laptop like that?
There's no way that's real.
It took you to point out the fact that there was a laptop in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on, Eugene. I've seen the
didn't-
shitty mountain.
Didn't even see the laptop, I swear.
You were trying to figure out how she has a Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah. Hot spots.
Oh, here we go.
Yay, that looks familiar.
Hey, tell us all
What
about
did you have to
this.
do with this, Heather?
Troy is a friend. Troy Baxley's a friend. He's a
Local
friend of yours.
comic headliner.
Yeah, had a brain bleed and ended up in intensive care for about 2 weeks or so.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw Chuck there visiting Troy.
This guy's why I moved to Denver.
Chuck?
Troy.
Troy.
You say what? You know, I got
Troy?
booked at a particular comedy club, and then geniuses in Hollywood said to me, "Look up Troy Baxley." Nancy Norton, Troy Baxley. That was my homework assignment for when I get to Denver.
He's
And
crazy
then
funny.
Dr. Kevin Fitzgerald,
So funny.
Crazy funny.
Don Gavin said, look, yeah, this
God.
guy's
Did Kevin make the
I
list?
wish we
Kevin
had
was
actually
gonna be
gets,
there.
if you're new, God has a name, and it is Troy Baxley.
It is. He helped me a ton over the years.
God has a headache, and we're going to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing a little bit better. I saw him yesterday. He's getting a speech back, but he can't find all of his words.
Right.
So he's working with speech therapists, and his words are how he makes his living.
Yeah.
So, Three Kings Tavern is where? I can't read that. 60 South
60
Broadway?
South Broadway.
Okay.
It's across the street from the Skinny Jeans Club, and it
Yeah.
is a Skinny Jeans Club. It's
Gotcha.
Yeah, and
right at the heart of Skinny Jeans and
first.
purse, or what do you, I was going to say bandana.
I saw a guy the other day
You
had
know.
skinny jeans that were pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
they
almost
were-
over.
Those were the dark
It's almost
cranberry
good,
ones
good.
were in at the start of spring. This
Yeah.
is the summer to have worn them. If you're wearing them back to school, I think I just told you it ain't cool.
Sorry you don't have any friends.
If you need a gay bear to tell you,
Oh, well.
I'm sorry about that. I'm here for you.
There was never a queer bear for the straight guy. For some-
Oh, believe me, Eugene, there is a queer bear for the straight guy. Since somewhere around
I got you.
1986. All right.
Yeah.
And these are the
heard
gay
about
games?
The gay games. This is my favorite joke of the week. You had to find the top. I enjoyed writing gay games jokes of gay games that should happen.
Filthy
Don't
Animals
forget
comes out when?
Tomorrow.
And tomorrow
In
is
like
when
6
for the people who are
hours,
watching
August
Wow.
19.
Are you
August
doing anything
19th.
for it?
Yeah, we're at Double Daughters, Mario's Double Daughters.
Oh,
I sent you a Facebook invite, but
But of course, we
I don't see
ignored
it.
the hell out of that.
texted you. Now I know to
Yes.
text you specifically.
Now, see, when I go to other cities, they're all like, do you know Chuck Roy?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I get that a lot.
I appreciate that.
Does it make you feel warm?
Me
and
too.
cozy in the insides?
Goal achieved. You know, I wanted to come here and be really good. I wanted to work with Troy and lay it down. Like there was a scene, and it has a code, and there's some art to deliver, and so, you know, I feel like I've done my time
Yeah.
delivering it here.
All right, guys, we have to.
No, really, it is
we're
us.
here. We have to wrap this
Aw.
up. Heather, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, you're welcome.
Like I tell everyone, and Chuck says I should stop telling everyone, but I'm gonna tell you too. You know, this is our equipment. We own it all. We don't have to talk to anybody we don't want to, and we really wanted to talk to you, and it turned out to be really great. Thank you so much.
Cool,
Do
thank
you
you.
have anything that you're pushing? You'd like to look into that camera and tell people where to get in touch with you?
Sure. Come to Troy Baxley's fundraiser, Brain Aid, on August 24th, and follow me on Twitter at 6 Feet of Snow, all spelled out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go back to that shot and do that again, Heather. That was a great shot. I'm going to use it. But Chuck cut you off.
Which one?
That one. Say it again, right there. Into the camera, Heather.
Into the camera?
Yeah, right
Okay.
there.
All of it?
Yeah, do the whole thing.
Okay. Go to Troy Baxley's show, Brain Aid, at Three Kings Tavern on August 24th. Starts at 8. We're going to have a silent auction, all kinds of stuff. And then follow me on Twitter at 6 Feet of Snow, all spelled out.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. The first take was better. We're going to cut all that last part out.
Sorry.
But hey, no, I'm just kidding.
Look at the fucking diva.
I was just messing
What
with
a
you.
diva.
Oh, stop.
Girl, you're my new favorite diva, girl. You are
thank
my
you. Quit
new
it.
favorite. I'm
Thank
calling you
you.
girl from
Thank-
now on. When
Thank
you
What's
you.
up,
get
girl?
it. That's it. It just got said
Chuck.
live. I can't take it away.
Yeah.
Chuck, what do you want to say? What are you pushing?
I want to say you're my girl.
No, my
I'll
girl.
be at this.
Yes, I'll be at that too.
He'll be at that.
I do those.
Yes.
And,
Where's the filthy
I won't be
animals?
doing that.
That's me.
Tomorrow. It comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And I start school.
All right, cool.
Don't forget.
Cool.
Kids, if you're at school tomorrow, better have your homework done. That's
There it
Community
is.
College of Denver.
Beautiful.
Thanks, very cool.
All right, there we go. There you have our show. Thank you so much for watching EUGE. We really, really appreciate it. Please subscribe to our show. We appreciate every one of you. We'll see you again next week. You have a great week.